Give a quick micro update on Ethereum. First, I'll show you what we were looking for last time. So we'd expect this to make a B, C before we drop down for our third. The way I'm going to trade this is try and get an average of 50. I'll take some shorts at the 382 and add to my position. Stop goes at the high, and we're going to be targeting down to that 618 mid. So if you got the trade, congratulations. I only got a small piece of it. I had some buys at the 382 and the 50. So we just had that single candle spike through. Doesn't necessarily mean this correction is done, but got a pretty decent entry. As of right now, I'm moving my stop down to this high. I might even take it to break even. I think I'm going to do that as soon as I finish making this video, because if this is resuming the downtrend as potentially the third wave, we should not break above that area again. That'd be too deep of a retracement. Right now, targeting just the 618 extension of the larger wave. I'll show you that in a second. But just what I mean, I got the entry here. Again, I didn't get my 50, so that's my entry point. Just showing you a little bit about trading here. If we go all the way down to the 5 minute, this is potentially another 1-2, right? 1-2, 1-2. So we shouldn't break above the 618 if we're in a downtrend, because then we'd also break this resistance, this new resistance here. So moving my stop to break even. This is going to be a free trade now, but do that as soon as I get off. But what can happen? How can we go back up? Well, simple. The correction just becomes bigger. We'd expect to pump back up here and potentially come bigger before we make further downside. Unlikely if this trend is resuming. Again, just because of the length of this correction. Looks about 1.5 times the drop. So we should continue here if this is the third of the third. Now, if it's not, I'll get stopped out and probably look for another entry in this area, or look for the move above. Now let me just show you what I mean here. So if we resume, I have extensions here because the pivot's potentially in. These extensions are off this 1-2, finishing up in 5 waves down to the 2.236. As you can see, our third would be the 1.618 and the 2.236 around 1400. The extension 1.382 lines up with that as well, which is our original W wave projected off the X, the start of the correction. That's the 1.382 target, and that's also the 618 target. You can see there's a lot of lineup there. That's the 618 target if this count is actually a 1-2, 1-2 instead of an A wave. So a lot of targets lining up in that area. Now, if I get stopped out in this area, what else can be happening? Get rid of that for now. Well, this could come back up, go a little deeper, at which point I'd probably take another entry, stop at that high, and look for that short again. I'm also only targeting this 618 right now because these levels in orange, which is an extension of this wave, which could potentially turn into an A wave, an expanded B wave, and expanded C wave for an expanded flat, or potentially even just a running flat where we don't make a new high, and this makes one large correction, then downside. So that's the alternatives if the market starts to take off. Another option I'm looking at is this is a Y wave where we have two zigzags back to back. That's a potential, but either way the market would move to the downside. And also going to be looking for potential ending diagonals. So that's what we're looking at, guys. Target right now is around 1400 for the pivot. Could come a little shy. As you can see, that would take us out of this trend here. I've got marked in a channel, but I'll be updating this pretty regularly. So keep an eye on that. And our next move is going to be pretty good. I'll do a macro count on that later on. All right, guys, that's the update on Ethereum. Thanks for watching. Make sure to sub and ring the bell if you want the updates right away. Cheers.